Welcome back to the news at 10 and welcome back to Lagos. The strike embarked upon by workers in Ekiti State appears to have worsened as the state chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress called on workers to remain resolute. The state chairman of the NLC, Mr. Ade Adesomi, says the workers will not return to their duty posts until 3 of the 5-month salaries owed are paid. However, the leadership of the All Nigeria Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools in the state has called on the labour unions to dialogue with the state authorities.
People are hungry. People cannot even transport themselves to the offices. Even if you've not gone on strike, the state will have shut itself down because it has gotten to a level that workers cannot get money to transport themselves to the bank. So what we are saying, that we are open to discussion. Government should go and look for money and pay at least 3 months. I think we are fair enough.
In our own case, ANCOS, we only stand to appeal to our two mother unions so that peace can continue. We cannot call off the strike because ANCOS is not a trade union but a professional body.
Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State has declared a state of emergency on the environment, specifically on issues of erosion. The governor made this known while participants deliberated on ecological issues at a one-day strategic meeting to mark World Environment Day. The governor is calling on the federal government to declare the state ecologically devastated due to its numerous environmental challenges.
The fight against erosion in Anambra State is one which is an ongoing process, as the menace appears determined to wipe out farmlands, homes and roads. And this forum in Awka, the Anambra State capital, is another opportunity to further brainstorm on how to control erosion and its effects. The governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, wastes no time in declaring a state of emergency.
It is important to state that with over 950 erosion sites, Anambra State needs serious help to manage our terribly eroded landmass. Sadly, the rate at which this menace is progressing is so frightening that if nothing is done very quickly, it will overwhelm our collective capacity to slow it down. In truth, no other state in Nigeria has been ravaged by erosion on the same scale as Anambra. If the image that we generate from our aerial photography are anything to go by, then the world must come to our rescue before it is too late.
The keynote speaker from the Renewable Energy Development Agency in the United States of America sees the method of agricultural practice as the root cause of the problem.
Here in Nigeria, you are losing tremendous amounts of agricultural land due to erosion. Your deforestation, you're losing 400,000 hectares a year in deforestation. And when those trees are cut down and the roots are uprooted, there's nothing to hold the soil. So when the rains come, the soil just wash away and the nutrients wash away and your agricultural industry goes down the tube. It's going to be very difficult to continue to be the breadbasket of Africa if you don't have places to plant your crops.
An environmental study estimates that it takes approximately 500 years to replace 25 millimeters or 1 inch of topsoil lost to erosion. How much soil Anambra State and indeed other like it across the country have lost to erosion cannot be measured. But one thing is certain: all tiers of government and the people must pull together to win this, because time is running out.
Time now for business news on the news at 10. Here's Adeshawa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Amarachi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business News. The federal government plans to raise 105 billion naira worth of bonds at an auction on the 15th of June. According to the Debt Management Office, the bills will have maturities of 5 to 20 years. The DMO will raise 50 billion naira from the 2036 paper, 40 billion naira on the 2026 paper, and 15 billion naira on the 2020 paper. The National Assembly and capital market players have reached an agreement to amend some of the extinct laws in the securities platforms. Well, the agreement was reached at a two-day forum on capital markets, which came to an end today in Abuja. Channels Television's correspondent, Temple Ashaju, reports.
It's been 2 days of deliberations on the Nigerian securities markets. The need to amend some legislations around capital formation through the securities market has been the focus of this gathering, made up of legislators, regulators, as well as operators.
In making the capital market master plan a reality.
With attention placed on demutualization, listings, and the future of the markets, the experts exchanged concerns with recommendations to update the market laws.
Of post-demutualization issues that both the exchange itself and as well as SEC would need to be mindful of, when we get there.
Once there's an orderly rationing process, the markets will settle and will factor that timelines into their decision-making process.
There is a disconnect between policy making, especially around financial systems in Nigeria, and the capital market. And once you continue to have that situation, the capital markets will continue to be in the bonnet.
We have come here to buy the ideas and articulate the process that will send us back to the chamber to roll out the laws.
Speaking on the listing of privatized companies, the chairman of Hares Holdings, Mr. Tony Elumelu, recommends the introduction of new requirements.
Before privatization, we should have a pre-privatization requirement that maybe 3 to 5 years after you're privatized, after the asset, you've taken over the asset, you need to take it to the market.
Addressing critical issues in the Capital Markets Master Plan, Mr. Andrew Roberts of Herbert Smith Freehills in the United Kingdom explains practical solutions for the task.
One of the ways that you can regain trust if you're regulators and legislatures is ensuring there is full transparency. And what does that mean? That means that there is regular reporting requirements imposed on listed equity, companies with listed equity or listed debt.
The recommendations of these experts are more than significant for the Nigerian economy at a time when commodities prices have hit the floor. Given the well-thought-out positions here, investors can only expect a sea change. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
The Risk Managers Association of Nigeria has paid a familiarization visit to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The Board of Trustees of the organization says the visit is aimed at creating more awareness on risk management in the economy.
Members of Board of Trustees and executives of the Risk Managers Association of Nigeria, RIMAN, on a visit to the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Today I'm very happy to be here with you.
They are introduced to the stockbrokers by the head of legal services at the NSE, Ms. Tinuawe. And this is followed by the introduction of officials of RIMAN by the president, Mr. Jude Monye. Mr. Monye explains the purpose of this visit.
What informed this visit is that the stock exchange is a marketplace. And we can see all that is happening today in the marketplace is more of risk management issues. So we had to start from the stock exchange. And today they've pledged to be partners with this association, the Risk Management Association of Nigeria, so that we can enhance the best practice in terms of risk management practices and governance issues.
The importance of risk management in the economy is to reduce losses as a result of uncertainties.
If you look at the environment, a lot of people are suffering from financial losses. So risk management, our noble cause, if you ask me, is to ensure that we minimize losses. And if you look at it, I mean, a lot of people are suffering because losses have occurred. And if you look at it, it's the weak among us that suffer the most.
What does the future hold for the Risk Managers Association of Nigeria?
I think we're going to see a lot more people getting professionalized in risk management. We're going to see more people taking what we call the CRM, as a Certified Risk Manager exam. It's an exam that covers people who work in risk management across various industries. You might be in banking or in insurance or in stockbroking, or you might work for a manufacturer. Risk management is everywhere.
The Risk Managers Association of Nigeria was founded on the 29th of March 2000. Membership strength is over 1,600 individuals from over 35 different organizations across the economic sectors.
And staying with the Nigerian equities market, let's bring you closing figures from the exchange with Bolaji Akinwale.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. It was another bearish session at the local bourse as the key broad index tumbled 0.45% to close at 27,475.48. Market capitalization declined to 9.43 trillion naira. However, total volume traded increased to 183.2 million shares, valued at 2 billion naira and exchanged in 3,488 deals. With a 10.16% increase, Owando was the topmost gainer ahead of Nel Insurance and Nimitz Pharmaceuticals. UBA, Cadbury and Access Bank were the top 3 percentage losers for the session. Bank stocks dominated the activity chart, with UBA pulling the highest volume of 40.56 million units. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Well, thanks a lot, Balaji. Let's also run you through how other markets fared globally. Asian and European stocks bounced higher today, while U.S. stocks ended slightly mixed as investors assessed positive comments by the U.S. Federal Reserve Chief, ruling out the possibility of a rate increase this month. Let's take a look. And that's Business News Tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment. I am Adeshewa Josh.
You first. First Bank.
Cement giant Dangote Cement has inaugurated a 26-kilometer concrete road to ease the transportation of its products and significantly improve infrastructure development of its host communities in Itori and Ibeshe in Iwekoro local government areas of Ogun State, where it operates. Addressing dignitaries at the occasion, the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, challenged the government at all levels on the need to make a paradigm shift in infrastructure development to stimulate economic recovery in the country.
This 26-kilometer concrete road is traversing 15 communities in a stretch. Initiated in 2014, this road is a partnership between the cement giant, Dangote Cement, and AG Construction of Brazil. The management of Dangote Cement says this is in keeping with the fulfillment of its corporate social responsibility to its host communities.
The Nigerian cement industry, as our contribution to finding a cost-effective and lasting solution to this problem, has been advocating construction of concrete roads as a more viable alternative to asphalt roads. That is why we at Dangote Industries are venturing into construction on a joint venture with AG Dangote Limited. And I would like to also welcome the 2 most senior directors of AG Dangote.
Commending this private sector initiative, the federal government expresses its commitment towards massive infrastructure development to revamp the economy.
And the concrete road signals one of the things that we can do in our built industry to adapt. First, it gives a longer span of utility that reduces the need for bituminous maintenance.
The Ogun State government is grateful to Dangote Cement for this gesture and is seeking more synergy between the public and private sectors to develop critical sectors of the economy.
Dangote Group of Companies, through the road we are commissioning today, has reciprocated the good gesture of the state government by
by instituting and pursuing an effective corporate social responsibility program which will positively impact the host community and the state. The quality of the Ishiri-Tori concrete road that we are commissioning today is exceptional and should be emulated by road construction companies in Nigeria.
And with more private companies giving back to their host communities like this, infrastructure development may serve as a springboard for economic revival.
Still ahead of the news at 10, former Chelsea doctor Eva Canero settles her dismissal and discrimination case against the club and former boss Jose Mourinho. We'll have more in sports news. Please stay with us.